In this video session, you'll understand about variables in C in a great detail. Conventionally, a variable is a data name that may be used to store a data value. That means a variable is an element which is used to store a certain value, and that value can be of any type. It can be an integer, it can be a decimal value, it can be an alphabet, or any such thing. It may take different values at different times during execution. If you go by the literal meaning of a variable will obviously variate. That means it may take different values at different times during execution, or it may choose not to take different values at different times during execution according to the need of the program. For example, you can name variables like average, height, total, cost. We generally name variables according to the type of values they hold. For example, if you want to store the height of a certain person in a variable, you can name that variable, say height, and store the value of the height, say 5 inches into it. Now let's understand how variables are manipulated and how they change values during the course of execution. Understand this by a certain example. For example, the compiler encounters these two statements in the program. How will it evaluate them? For this, you need to understand how this equal to operator works. We'll talk about operators in a great detail in our later video session, but for now just understand how this equal to operator works. Now, what this operator does it calculates the value of the expression written on the right hand side and evaluates that value to the variable on the left hand side. So as soon as the compiler encounters this statement height is equal to 5, it will fetch this value 5 and put it inside the variable height. Now as soon as it encounters the next statement height is equal to height plus 5, it will move to the right hand side and calculate this expression and evaluate its value to the variable on the left hand side. That is, it will calculate this expression height plus 5, it will look for the value of this variable which is 5, add it with 5 which comes out to be 10, and then evaluates this value 10 to the variable height. That means the value of the variable height has changed from 5 to 10. Now there are certain ANSI standards for naming the variables. ANSI stands for American National Standard Institute, which has set certain standards for naming variables. For example, they must begin with a letter. They should not be a keyword. White spaces are not allowed between variables. And there are certain other conventions for naming variables which you can find over the internet. Thank you for listening. We'll explore more concepts in our later video session.